The Brahmapureeswarar temple is an ancient temple situated in Tirupattur in the state of Tamil Nadu in India. This temple complex houses the Jeeva Samadhi of Patanjali Maharishi, the compiler of the Yoga Sutras. These texts laid the foundation of what we know today as yoga. Patanjali Maharishi is believed to have lived more than 2000 years ago, but this temple is much more ancient than that. This temple is one of the rare temples where Lord Brahma is venerated. The story behind this sacred space is steeped in symbolism. Brahma, one of the qualified aspects of the Supreme Absolute, the infinite consciousness, is entrusted with creating the material universe. On creating the universe, his pride and ego as the creator gets the better of him. He falls in love with his own creations and declares himself to be the greatest. He declares himself to be the supreme being. He is then chastised by Shiva, who removes his fifth head, a representation of his ego. As a result, Brahma also loses his power of creation. He realizes his mistake and sets out to make amends. It is here, in this sacred place, that Lord Brahma consecrated 12 Shiva lingams and venerated Shiva to free him from his ego. The lingam is a representation of the infinite, both in manifest and unmanifest forms. Shiva obliges, and finally, Brahma is rid of his delusions and regains the power of creation. Since the fate of the Creator himself was changed at this spot by Shiva, many believe that this holy place is one where one's destiny could be rewritten. The manifestation of Shiva is venerated here as Brahmapureeswarar, along with his consort Brahmanayaki. She is also called Brahma Sampatta Gauri, as the one who restored the glory of Brahma. The Shiva Linga here is Swayambhu. It is a self-manifested lingam which has existed since time immemorial. As we move around the temple, we come to the Jeeva Samadhi of the great Patanjali Maharishi. The texts of sage Patanjali laid the foundation of what we know today as yoga. He is in fact mentioned in many ancient texts across India. He is mentioned in Tirumular's Tirumandiram, a text that was composed more than 2000 years ago, and also in the writings of the great Siddha Bhogar. It was here that sage Patanjali attained the Jeeva Samadhi. The aim of all the ancient dharmic sages was to transcend the cycle of birth and death and attain union with the Supreme Absolute. The adherents of the Bhakti Marga, the path of devotion, and the Jnana Marga, the path of knowledge, led their lives and practiced techniques to attain liberation, moksha, mukti, once this life ends. According to the Siddha Yoga Marga, the sages' approach to transcend the cycle of birth and death is their attainment of Jeeva Samadhi. Jeeva Samadhi is an advanced state of Samadhi. In the Jeeva Samadhi, the sages attain union with the Supreme Absolute, willfully leaving the life force in the physical body. Since the life force is restrained within the body does not die in the traditional sense, and so these sages are freed from the cycle of birth and death. Though they have attained union with the Supreme Absolute, it is believed that their conscious energy would still be around to serve as a guiding light for seekers. And it is said that in this way, these realized beings can continue their work in teaching those that seek them out and be a guide for humanity. It is believed that Patanjali Maharishi attained this state via his yogic meditation and continues to work for the progression of humankind. The word yoga translates to union. The union with the Supreme Absolute, where all differentiation ceases, is the ultimate aim of any yogic practice. Near the Brahmapureeswarar temple is also another sacred spot where sage Patanjali, along with another sage Vyagrapadar, witnessed the dance of Shiva in the form of Nataraja, where he expounded the art of yoga. Whenever there is a Jeeva Samadhi, almost always there would be a Patala Lingam nearby the Jeeva Samadhi. And here, in this temple, you can see the Patala Lingam right next to the Jeeva Samadhi of Patanjali Maharishi. This symbolized the infinite. Like the Nandi fixed on Shiva, the self should be fixed on the Supreme Absolute in its journey towards becoming one with the Supreme Absolute. Sitting beside the Jeeva Samadhi of Patanjali and meditating is an experience in itself. To this day, the temple does have a steady stream of devotees who believe that visiting this sacred space and venerating Brahma would change their destiny. And of course, one can only place righteous requests. But the most important lesson of this temple is to transcend ego and finally understand the unity of all being so that one can transcend the cycle of birth and death and move towards the state of Sat Chit Ananda, pure consciousness bliss. As always, the known is a drop and the unknown an ocean. Peace.